In previous videos, we've discussed the Program for Action, an expansive plan for improving transit in and around the New York region. One of the plans inside of the Program for Action involved extending the 3 train past its current terminus at New Lots Avenue, bringing service to Brooklyn's Spring Creek neighborhood. At the time, this project was estimated to cost just $12 million, a fraction of what it would cost today. The idea was to extend the tracks either through or alongside Livonia Yard, which stores and maintains the fleet for the 3 train. Livonia Yard is located southeast of the New Lots Avenue station, with the tracks from the station continuing into the yard. It is one of 2 yards in the system, the other being the 240th Street Yard for the 1 train in the Bronx, that is entirely on an elevated structure. The line would continue on Linwood Street and terminate 3 blocks south of Livonia Yard at Flatlands Avenue, right on the border of Spring Creek. The Program for Action called for a modern, architecturally attractive terminal at that location. Spring Creek, the area this extension was meant to serve, has changed significantly over the years. At the time this proposal was created, Spring Creek was mostly landfill and industry. However, there were plans to construct a huge new housing development which would include nearly 10,000 units. The housing development, named Starrett City, opened in 1974, with libraries, schools, and recreational centers opening shortly after. Unfortunately, with this neighborhood's revival, bad news also came. Due to the city's financial crisis in the mid-1970s, plans for the extension were scrapped, and it would be a very long time before they were brought into conversations again. This hadn't stopped the neighborhood's development, however, as the various landfills in the area had ceased operations in the early 1980s. The land in and around these sites were restored and used for the development of new housing and the Gateway Center shopping mall. While it's safe to say that the area has seen a major improvement over the last 50 years, it's still much less densely populated than other Brooklyn neighborhoods, even those served by the 3 train, like Brownsville. Despite this, plans for the extension of the New Lots line to the Spring Creek area were revived in 2022, with the release of the MTA's 20-year needs assessment. Here, 2 plans are in review. The first is similar to the original from the Program for Action, which takes the line south through Livonia Yard to Flatlands Avenue. This proposal, however, includes a station at Linden Boulevard and explicitly states that the line would run on an elevated structure. The assessment also states that a potential separation of passenger service tracks from yard lead tracks could have an impact on yard operations. This suggests that if an extension were to be constructed, it would either have to actually run through the yard, similar to the D and N trains in Coney Island, or would have to be constructed alongside the rebuild of the Livonia Yard shops, which is also listed in this assessment. The alternative to this plan keeps the alignment through Livonia Yard, but changes the location of the terminal. Instead of having the terminal at Flatlands Avenue, it would be moved to the entrance of the Gateway Center Mall, with no station at Flatlands Avenue. The first option, ending at Flatlands Avenue, is projected to cost $1.8 billion, with the second option to Gateway Center being projected to cost $2.5 billion. In the assessment, these options are listed as not being cost-effective due to the high cost and the relatively low ridership gains it'll bring. Currently, there are 2 bus lines that connect Spring Creek with the 3 train, the B83 and B84 buses. There are 3 other local bus lines that connect the area with other subway lines as well, with the Q8, B13, and B82 bus. Let's focus on the 2 buses that take you to the 3 train though. The B83 bus starts at Gateway Center and travels south, making stops around the mall before using Shore Parkway to get to Pennsylvania Avenue. It then travels through the Starrett City complex and further north, connecting with the 3 train at the Pennsylvania Avenue station and with the A, C, L, and J trains at Broadway Junction. This bus route sees just over 3,500 riders per weekday, even with it serving Broadway Junction, the Starrett City Housing Complex, and the Gateway Center Mall. The B84 bus also starts at Gateway Center Mall, running north to Flatlands Avenue and west to Cleveland Street before turning north again, and ending at the New Lots Avenue 3 train station. This bus route sees only 300 riders per weekday. It doesn't seem like the bus routes in this area see enough ridership to justify a subway extension. However, they could definitely use some better headways. Even if the subway was extended, I'm not too sure if it would make that much of a difference. Yes, it would be easier to get to the Gateway Center Mall, but it wouldn't do much for residents. Most of the population of Spring Creek resides in the Starrett City Housing Complex, which isn't very close to the proposed subway extension. Starrett City is located on a peninsula, bordered by Hendricks Creek. The only 2 roads that offer a way out to the east and west are Shore Parkway and Flatlands Avenue. Because of this, the farthest parts of Starrett City can be over 1.5 miles away from the proposed terminal, nearly the same distance away from the Pennsylvania Avenue station on the 3 train and the Rockaway Parkway station on the L train. A more cost-effective way to better serve the residents of Spring Creek would be to simply improve bus service. Streamline the routes, add bus priority, and alter their routes to improve connectivity with the subway. So, will we ever see the 3 train roll into Spring Creek? Given today's costs and ridership projections, it seems unlikely. What was once a $12 million plan is now a $2 billion dream. And for a neighborhood already served by buses, the justification just isn't there. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more content like this in the future, consider supporting the channel by liking the video and subscribing.